People have thought that the housing crisis was bad. That's really nothing compared to the bubble that's been growing for quite some time now. That's the higher education bubble. Let's talk about student loans. These people get out of college, or pardon me, get out of high school, and they don't have jobs, or the jobs they do have, just pay the bills. They can't afford college, not out of pocket, and so they take out these student loans, and they don't pay them back until they graduate. And once they graduate, they have a certain amount of time before they need to start paying that loan back. Okay, is everyone with me? Most people who graduate college are in no better shape afterwards, after they get that piece of paper, than when they got out of high school. And here it is, February of 2015. What jobs have been created? A bunch of part-time jobs. Because full-time positions require health insurance now. And so the businesses have figured out a loophole. Well, you know what? I can take away this full-time position and turn it into 2 part-time positions. Pardon me. And, well, I can extort them for more work without having to pay their benefits. And, well, that employee doesn't have the ability to get benefits now because he has to, or she has to, pick up a second job, which is another part-time job. And all it's doing is compensating. It's not providing any individual growth. Isn't that what college is supposed to be about? Individual growth? All the colleges are individually growing. And so, this person who got out of college, who is not even working in a field where their certificate pertains to, where that piece of paper pertains to, where that coupon, essentially that's what a college degree is a coupon. Here's my application and I have a coupon. They're not even working that field, and where they're expecting to get paid $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year starting off, well, they're working these mediocre jobs where they're pulling in $20,000, or between $20,000 and $30,000, which isn't bad, but a person off the street can pick up one of those jobs, with relative ease, as long as they have the right application. However, that job doesn't pay that college for that college degree. In fact, it takes away, because this person was preparing to live above his means, or to live within his means. Well, now that person is having to live below their means, and well, they haven't adjusted their lifestyle yet. At the same time, they're a little bit heartbroken because they just wasted 2 to 4 years of their lives on a regular, getting, busting their bum, going to school full time, going to work full time, sacrificing, just to realize that that's the life they're going to be stuck with. And, well, when these kids default on these loans, a lot of them have co-signers who are the parents. And these parents who are pretty much remove themselves of a lot of debt, all of a sudden become burdened with this new debt because their child cannot get a job. And at the same time, a lot of these college people are having to move back in with their parents, so that's a burden back on the parents. And at the same time, they're getting stuck with this $200 a month loan repayment. And they're still having to take care of their 24-year-old child, not to mention the other kids. And I'm not too certain if a lot of people understand what parents have been going through the last few years, but this is their choices, biting them in the bum. Because my generation, Generation X, has been extorted, robbed, raped, and pillaged by our parents, who were the flower children. And peace to this, peace, man, peace. When they have been involved in some of the most controversial years of our lives and put us in, personally, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan are worse wars than Vietnam. It's Vietnam, Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom, part of the global war on terrorism, had the propaganda of World War II, but with the same objective as Vietnam. That's what people don't understand. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. You know, a lot of people do not see it now, but I was part of the volunteer generation. There was no draft for this war. In fact, part of the reason why I was able to avoid, or part of the reason why America was able to avoid a draft, is because, well, we'll use myself as an example. I have an extreme case of nearsightedness, and that kept me from enlisting when there was a fulfillment of personnel. However, when that personnel dropped and they were not meeting their numbers, the military decided to lower their standard, in which I was able to get a waiver for my nearsightedness. Not only that, I got an enlistment bonus. I got married and that's all gone. And because I got divorced too. So people need to realize that what's happened here is Generation X is really the last generation before this country goes down the crapper. And we really are. I don't see the millennials or what's the other? I forget what the newer generation is called, but the millennials, they're so disconnected from reality. A lot of them are. Look at the age they grew up in. Look what I'm using to record this video, my phone. Every millennial has received a phone, and they don't need, or all their communication is based through the phone. It's become a lot less personal. People's friendship consists of what happens on Facebook. I don't have 30 friends on my Facebook page. I have in excess of 20 though. Because a lot of people in my own generation have fallen victim to the same crap they are so unhappy with their lives, or they just became slaves to their environment. And maybe if I had children and family and stuff like that, maybe I would try to fit in with the status quo, but I just can't. I really can't. And what's great about the internet is that I see a lot of people my age, give or take a few years, who are in the same mindset as myself. And a lot of these people do have families, and it's really cool to understand that I'm not alone. And it's about trying to utilize the tool of the internet to bring us all together, and that's a tool that the powers that be are trying to take away from us and make it more complicated for us to do our things. Going back to the point of this video, the student loan bubble is going to pop here soon. I'm using my post 9/11 GI Bill, and people can look up what that's all about. I don't have student loans. I did get just stuck with the GI Bill. That put me in debt. It was something I was relying on, something I was banking on, something that fell very short of meeting substandard conditions. And I'm able to I'm rebuilding my life now. But a lot of people who haven't gone through a lot of the same things as myself are not in the same mindset, and well, this is really a heartbreaking situation. And I mean, there's just so many bases to touch. It really is. We're putting more. Why is it that everything, the value of the dollar went down, but the price of education went up an ungodly amount? At the same time, why is it that, and this is a well-known issue, I don't need to cite my sources because I'm not specifically quoting any, but why is it that students are putting more into something than they're getting out of it? They're not even breaking even. There are no jobs being created. At the same time, a lot of other countries are fearing America right now. As seen on the news, a lot of the computer programs have been encrypted with NSA malware. Well, I can't say NSA malware, but there is, that's my own opinion. And it's coming from a lot of research. Being that the Americans want to play global policeman, it's like, why not try and keep an eye on the rest of the world? In the Snowden documents, it came out that we spy on our neighbors, we spy on our friends. My point of this is that people are reluctant to buy American-made products, and a lot of the products that we make are computer or electronics. And so that's really hurt our market, and it's hurt our job growth. It's hurting the production. This is the grand scheme of things. Pretty soon, this bubble's going to pop. The student loan bubble's going to pop. and they're creating these programs to allow for free college, community college. It doesn't pay. And the thing is, these students are going to go through a lot of the same things that I went through. Maybe not the same things, but a lot of the same scenario. And while we have to, and those people are still going to be put in debt. Because they have to, if they do not graduate, they have to pay that back. Just like FAFSA. Hope this was informative.